Whilst in London, we thought it only appropriate to begin our day with that most English of tipples, a cup of tea. We met up with Harrods resident tea tailor, Angelo, to create our very own iconic blend of the English breakfast tea. We are here in London's Angel on Upper Street, about to meet one of London's leading authorities on tea, who happens to be Italian, would you believe? Follow me. This is a very nice surprise. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, Angelo, as I was saying, is London's leading authority, absolutely, on tea.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Different you do say yourself. Once a total luxury and so expensive that the Countess of Argyll reportedly paid the equivalent of half her estate lawyer's annual salary for just 6 ounces of the stuff. We now take English breakfast tea for granted, but to who do we owe the accolade of this creation? The pastime of drinking tea was actually brought to us Brits, believe it or not, by the Portuguese, by a lady called Catharina of Braganza, who married King Charles II in 1662. Thank you, Catharina. Catherine. So what we're doing this morning is, to begin our day, you're going to create for us our own special Global Food Quest blend, Angelo's blend of English breakfast tea.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Exactly, and not many people knows, but...
Yeah, what is English breakfast tea?
English breakfast is a
Why do we
blend.
even call it that? Yeah.
Well, it's called English breakfast because, funnily enough, it was created in New York.
English breakfast tea, a term that was created by a guy called Richard Davies from Hull in the north of England, an immigrant to New York. He was looking for a way to market his new blend of dark teas and came up with the term English breakfast tea. So what are we going to do now in terms of blending our own tea?
Yes, so...
What have we got?
So we have 2 little bowls. Well, we have all the necessary. We have lovely cakes.
Yeah, these are absolutely stunning.
Yes. I will put a teaspoon of Assam Gold Rush, which is a malty, strong black teas.
Shall I smell this?
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, tell us about this. Assam Gold Rush.
Assam Gold Rush, Assam is a region in the northeast of India.
It's beautiful, quite light fragrance, very nice.
Really...
Not overpowering, it's subtle.
It's not overpowering, it's sort of malty, creamy when you drink it.
Yeah, malty, that is exactly what I'm getting here.
It's a lot of maltiness. Because we are having a breakfast tea, I decided to go a little bit more bold tea.
Gotcha.
And then to give a little bit of sweetness, we put some, like another kind of level teaspoon of Ceylon from the Inverness estate.
That's much larger.
Much larger
tea.
leaf, so a milder tea. You can smell it from here, and you will get like kind of caramel sort of character. We describe it as a caramel note, so it doesn't actually taste of caramel, but it gives kind of sweetness to it.
There's kind of almost a herbaceous quality as well.
Yeah, quite grassy and medicinal, but this instead has a lovely kind of smooth edge, a lot of caramel notes. So back to the blend.
Back to our blend.
I put Assam, I put Ceylon, so far it's a very classic breakfast blend.
Yep.
But I decided to call this breakfast, not only, well, you can call it the Global Food Quest blend.
No, it's your blend. What are we calling this?
I would like to call it Breakfast with Winston.
Breakfast with Winston
As in Winston Churchill.
Right, why are we calling it that?
I'm putting a tiny bit of Lapsang Souchong, which was his favourite tea.
Lapsang Souchong, not just an amazing name, that's great to say, try it. Lapsang Souchong, Great. It comes from a region in China that's very humid. So to dry the leaves, they smoke them over fire. Hence its smoky flavour, aroma, lapsang, souchong. Okay, you want to hear the lapsang souchong story? Fine. It's a tea I know very well because once upon a time I did a play that we were eating cupcakes in a scene and drinking lapsang souchong, and it's a scene that ends in brutal S&M, with me pretty much naked on stage and my mum and Nan watching in the audience. Lapsang souchong. Lapsang souchong, not just an amazing smoky tea from a humid region of China with memories of S&M for me and pure brutality, but a tea Sir Winston Churchill loved. The smoky flavour went with his cigars and also his whiskey, which Angelo tells us if you just put a little tot in your tea and drink it.
And good night.
So the name of our tea is?
Breakfast with Winston.
Breakfast with Winston. I love it, man. I love it.
So let's mix it together.
Let's do it.
Yes.
What is it? So the process now?
So the process now, I'm just, in a very domestic way.
Yes.
I'm just mixing the tea leaves in order for them to be,
a well-blended, evenly distributed tea.
There we go. And what happened, normally, they go through a funnel-shaped big sack into a big blending drum. So it's all done mechanically. So
right.
That's what they do in the professional factories. Here we have to do like this, which is very entertaining. So now we're gonna brew the tea. Now, there is no golden rule to brew the tea. The only golden rule is freshly boiled water, good quality tea, a teapot like this. For a teapot like this, I would use 2 teaspoons of tea.
Right.
Because the technical ratio is roughly 3 grams for 150 to 200 milliliters of water.
Right.
Yeah, so this is a teapot for 4, I guess. So I would put 2 teaspoons. We are having a breakfast tea, so we like it strong, even if we're drinking it without milk. I'm gonna put the water, which is still at a decent temperature.
And the water should be boiling?
The water should be just off the boiling.
Just off the boil.
For any kind of, for most of the black teas.
Okay, we've got to clear this up. So we have got herbal infusions, not herbal teas. Let's call them infusions. And we have tea made from the tea plant. Tea as a plant. So we have tea and herbal infusions. And mint infusions? Doesn't sound right, does it? I guess we could call it a mint tea. We'll let that one slide. Chamomile? Is it chamomile infusion, Klaus? Chamomile tea sound. You can have tea, maybe we could call it a mint tea and a chamomile tea. The rest are infusions. Like hibiscus and titweasel, that's an infusion. It's like perry cider. There's no such thing as pear cider. It's called perry. It's a bugbear of mine. I won't grind the axe anymore. So it's ready.
Moment of truth.
To Winston, to Churchill. You can smell a little bit of that smoke, but not too much, just a little bit. Is there a way of drinking tea? Should this be like wine?
You would smell the liquor. We call it liquor.
Nice, smell the liquor.
And then you would slurp it.
You do slurp.
In the professional settings, of course, if you're having a tea with a majesty, you wouldn't slurp.
Right.
But,
like you should wine when you're tasting wine.
Exactly.
Is to bring a bit. Is that so you don't burn yourself, or is that to bring oxygen in from taste buds?
You burn yourself, but. So you let the air in.
It's the same as tasting wine. I've got to say, I haven't actually ever drunk tea like this before. I have given tea a lot of thought before. Not this much thought. This is really good, man.
Thank you.
So, some of our first tea sets were porcelain coming from China. We tried to emulate those tea sets in Britain, but our porcelain was apparently of inferior quality. So when you pour the hot tea in, the cups would break. Hence why we began to add milk sometimes first as a cooler liquid before adding the hot liquid. But if you wanted to show off to your guests you had top quality porcelain, you just bang the hot tea in first. See you later. Wallop. Angelo, it's absolute pleasure. Cheers.
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 Which country drinks the most tea per capita? Is it Britain? Is it the Turkish? Turkish have amazing tea. Apple tea, infusion, apple tea. Oh, should we let that one slide? We drank pink Kashmiri tea here. The Indians, pulled tea, masala chais. My gosh, blows my mind. Tea culture's huge. Let us know what you drink. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and look forward to seeing you next week. Peace out, one and all. Wallop.